Muy buenas amigas y amigos, soy Andy Gaming y bienvenidos a The Council. Bueno gente, recordaros que teníamos que venir en busca de nuestra madre, que nos lo dijo eh, el presidente Washington, ¿vale? Y yo creo que es esa que está ahí en el suelo, ¿vale? Que estaba aquí en la habitación de la duquesa Emily, que es la que está con la pistola. Y nada, voy a dar una vueltecita por aquí a ver qué es lo que tenemos. A ver si hay algo por aquí. Por aquí he visto yo antes algo.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen. The King's situation is worsening, but I wager he'll recover from this present fit. Next time you speak with Her Majesty the Queen, would you please be so kind as to ask her to look into my petition to raise taxes with the King? I will personally see to it that our nation will recover from this impasse. But King George's mental situation is slowing down our decision-taking. Thank you in advance for all your help. William Pitt, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain.
Vale, por lo que se ve, la salud del rey está empeorando, por lo que se ve. Y quieren subir los impuestos. Total, nada. Buscar.
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
Abrojo.
A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now.
De hace 15 años.
Madam, I shall never thank you enough for all your care and attention. I shall be indebted to you until my last breath. If you have any request of me, you only need ask. With regards to my son William, I shall never thank you enough for looking after him. You know the latter's preferences, and you will understand he needs you desperately. For that, and as agreed with Queen Charlotte, our friend Duke Hillsborough will carry out his task and meet with you within 6 months. From then on, you'll be free from want. Yours sincerely, William Pitt, Count of Chatham.
Ok. Bueno, aquí tenemos un cuadro. A ver que se vea mejor desde aquí. Aquí, así.
Queen Charlotte. All the royal family of England is there from what I can tell.
Two coils circle the lock.
Dos círculos decoran la cerradura. Vamos a abrir, ya que no nos cuesta nada.
Dear Gregory, thank you for the information. I've managed to find out about the names you gave me. George Washington is a man you can trust. In spite of his obvious talent for politics, he has remained upright and honest. On the other hand, as you may well know, he is already doing business with Lord Mortimer. It will be more difficult to approach him. Napoleon Bonaparte was unknown to me until today. He's a passionate young French soldier for whom Mortimer predicts a promising future. Take heed. He is a man of conviction, which to my mind makes him potentially dangerous. As for Sarah de Richet, what more is there to say? You already know each other. She was apparently invited by Lord Mortimer about an ongoing matter in Paris that concerns a receiver
Sobre un receptor de obras de arte robadas.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Esto es importante quedarse con esto, ¿vale? Porque ahora seguramente podamos tener... Ahora cuando vayamos a la otra habitación, donde está la duquesa Emily con la pistola, supuestamente está nuestra madre y también su hermana, supuestamente, no lo sé. Entraremos en una confrontación y seguramente pueda que salga algo de esto. Y es bueno, es bueno. Por eso es bueno quedarse con todo. Vale, ok. Entonces dice que George Washington es un hombre de confianza. Lo que pasa es que como está haciendo este es a Gregory, ¿vale? Que es... Para que lo veáis. A este así Gregory, ¿vale? Ok, vale. Que este ya cuando estuvimos en la sala de conferencia, este y William Mortimer, este y William Mortimer son los únicos que no votaban, ¿vale?
I've retrieved everything.
Vale, agüita del Carmen, que nos venía muy bien el agüita del Carmen. Ok. Esto ya lo hemos leído. Y yo creo que por aquí no tenemos nada más. No, nada más. Así que vamos a entrar en la habitación, a ver qué pasa. Aquí tenemos algo. Elixir dorado, vale, no guardado. Vale, a ver qué cojones pasa por aquí.
What on earth is
Hmm.
you... Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk. After everything I've done for you. You are joking, I hope, right? I gave you my life. That's enough, Emma. Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What? If you think you're going to... Louis, help me, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games.
Hostia.
What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart.
Hostia.
After everything we've been through together.
Yes, well...
Don't you dare bring him into this. This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You pretty little bitch! How dare you! Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on while you were away. Go on then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on then, shoot! After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going...
An entire life for this. Go on, shoot! Sorry, Louis, I can't shoot her. She's my sister. That's enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way. I am not Emma. Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is.
Wait,
That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Well, Louis, come on, you know how to tell us apart, right?
Yes, but... I'd like to ask you a few questions to make sure there's no doubt.
Buah, ya empezamos.
Rational and open, Louis. Let's see. How can I tell them apart? Wait, I've got an idea.
On the night of our arrival...
Preguntar a la gemela de delante, preguntar a la gemela de detrás. Joder. Menuda la que me van a liar. Venga, vamos a preguntar a la de atrás. La noche que llegamos, ¿a qué me dedico? ¿Qué me dio? ¿Qué me ocurrió? Si es verdad, ¿qué me ocurrió? ¿Qué me ocurrió? Porque nos entró lo del mareo y eso. Y yo creo que ya estaba, ¿no? ¿Qué me
On the
ocurrió?
wharf, something happened to me.
Eso.
What happened exactly?
You felt unwell. You had a nosebleed, and I offered you my handkerchief. I told her all that already. It was me who told you.
Right. Let's find
No.
something else. Ah, yes. Let's speak about my arrival at the
Sobre
manor.
mi llegada a la mansión. Preguntar a la gemela de delante. ¿Cómo nos recibió Mortimer? ¿Quién había enfrente de la chimenea? ¿Quién se quedó y quién se fue?
On the night of our arrival, we were warming ourselves in front of the fire. Mortimer welcomed us in a very odd way. What happened?
It won't work, Louis. It wasn't Mortimer who welcomed us. It was Sir Gregory. Sorry, Louis. I already told her.
Very well.
Let's try something else.
On the first night, we went up to bed, but I wasn't tired. I went for a little stroll.
Vale, lo de atrás. Nos encontramos, hablamos.
Before going to
Hablamos.
bed, I went for a stroll. Did we speak to each other during that stroll?
You must be mistaken. After going up to bed, I went straight to sleep. But she knows all that, Louis. I already told her. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once Louis has exposed you.
Right. I don't think I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find something better.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take it easy now.
Are you mad, Louis?
Lower your arm.
I better act quickly if I don't want things to get out of hand.
Come on, she's putting one over on you. Look at yourself for crying out loud. You were prepared to shoot me down.
In the secret room behind the study. Talk to them about what you've been doing. Maybe they haven't spoken about it between each other yet.
On the night of the disappearance of Elizabeth Adams.
What about it? What do you want to know about that night?
Preguntar a la de delante, ¿eh? Hacerla hablar sobre los objetos, es verdad. ¿Cómo burló la gorgona? ¿Dónde estábamos? Hablar sobre los objetos encontrados en la galería secreta, sí.
A load of old junk that Mortimer had collected. A so-called Pandora's box in the form of an urn. An old sheepskin that he must take for the Golden Fleece. The Bible of Judas. Property deeds as old as the hills. And a broken old sword.
Joder, dicen lo
You are
mismo.
wasting your time, Louis. She already knows all that. Of course I do. I was
Dicen
there.
lo mismo, macho.
That's enough! I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's just one thing I didn't tell her about in detail. Too bad for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. Ask her about you and I. You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it. Come, Louis. Speak about our intimacy.
Very well, let's talk about us.
Es verdad. Es verdad, preguntar a la de delante, es verdad. ¿De qué hablamos anoche? ¿Pasamos la noche juntos? Porque en teoría pasamos la noche juntos, ¿no?
Last night, we spent the night together. But beforehand, you insisted on talking about my choices during the conference. Why?
I beg your pardon? Louis, I did not go to see you last night.
Dice que no nos vimos.
Huh?
Now your true identity is exposed.
ver.
What did you do? I didn't tell you everything, little sister.
¿Ves?
I never told you about this episode, so you know
La buena
nothing of
es
what
la de
happened
atrás, en
last
teoría.
night between Louis and me. You dirty slut. What did you do?
That's enough, both of you. Now I know who the real Emily is.
Emily está delante de ti. Joder, ahora sí que la hemos liado, vale. La de delante es una farsante.
You are Emily Hillsborough.
I knew you wouldn't get it wrong, Louis. No! You little bitch! Watch out, Louis!
Hostias.
Hell, what have I done?
See what you've done. See.
Louis? What on earth is going...
Mother!
Go. You must leave. Everyone's going to arrive.
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess? Is everything all right?
Go! Go, Mother! No one must find you here.
Go.
Come, Louis. There's nothing more you can do.
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
Mother, go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
A la cripta.
Emily.
Madam, I'm coming in.
It was bound to end like this, Louis. Let me stay with her, please. Go, I'll cover you.
Váyase, lo cubriré. Ok. Reúne con tu madre en el jardín de la cripta. Vale, tenemos que bajar para abajo, ¿vale? Tenemos que ir para aquí. Lo hemos hecho bien, ¿eh? Al final. Al final no hemos gastado puntitos en la última pregunta y lo hemos hecho bien. Por aquí no me deja entrar. ¿Por dónde voy a poder salir? Por aquí. Por lo que se me deja por aquí. Tenemos que ir al jardín. Vale. Tenemos que ir al jardín. Yo creo, o sea, que tenemos que bajar para abajo para ir al jardín, claro está. Y para la cripta.
Good God. They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer? Can anyone hear anything through the door?
Vale, reúnete con tu madre. Tenemos que bajar para abajo. Si voy por allí, me van a ver, ¿verdad?
Did you hear that? I was not dreaming, was I?
Certainly not, Duke Godoy.
What's going on?
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Gentlemen, go back to your rooms. Go back to your rooms. I shall find out from Lord Mortimer what this is all about. Thank you.
Vale, nosotros tenemos que ir para la cripta, ¿vale? A ver qué nos dice este buen hombre.
My instructions are clear, sir. No one is to enter.
Vale. Pues vámonos para abajo. Vale, aquí tenemos almenda este. Yo creo que tenemos que ir por aquí. Sí. Vale. No hay nada por aquí que nos interese. Está anocheciendo. Hay que ir. Hostias, pero por aquí nosotros no tenemos que ir. ¿O sí? Oye, ¿qué pasa? Lo estoy haciendo yo mal, ¿eh? Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver. No, ¿qué cojones lo voy a estar haciendo mal? Tengo que ir por aquí. Monedas de colección. Y antes he pasado yo por aquí. Se me ha hecho a mí escuchar. Aquí.
Atrus, the Miller
Vale.
brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Vale. Vale. Bueno, a ver si llegamos para la cripta. Y a ver qué nos dice madre. Está la cosa interesante. Cargando. Bueno. Vale, yo creo que por aquí ya podemos salir. Vale. Otra vez cargando. Estas cosas me desesperan. Espérate, ¿era por aquí? No. O por aquí. Por aquí tiene más pinta, ¿no? Por aquí tiene más pinta, sí, sí. Vámonos para abajo, para la cripta. A ver qué sucede. Vale, esto es para subir. A ver quién hay por ahí. Por ahí hay alguien. Por ahí está madre. Nos está esperando.
Louis! At last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only... Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and logical. I know you are going to find it hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true. Many years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us.
I beg your pardon?
And that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like? Have they got horns and a pointed tail?
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your Christian folklore. Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Right. So let me guess.
Mortimer y Holmes, Washington y Bonaparte, el hombre del saco y Papá Noel, Bolner y Godoy.
Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory, right?
You felt it too?
No, even if Holmes does look the part. But I don't know who else could do it, given that we're on their territory.
Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Holmes had sent Volner to get it for him.
Holmes and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those 2.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
No hagas caso de sus delirios. Venga, sí, la verdad. En las escrituras de propiedad, su estudio secreto, la conferencia, el hecho de que nadie lo conoce. Su estudio secreto.
I went beyond the Nightmare Mother.
You understood the Masonic date.
1191.
Of course! It was during that siege that the demon took possession of Sir Mortimer. They spent a whole night in conversation until the early hours of the morning. Mortimer had passed the test. He had charmed the demon, and so it chose him to be its host for centuries to come. But tell me, did you find his secret study?
I did indeed.
Did you see his maps of the world?
He has contacts the world over.
Yes, I've been developing the Golden Order across the world for many years, and I've never seen anyone with such influence. It's simply inhuman.
Es antinatural el hecho de que nadie lo conoce, la conferencia, las escrituras de propiedad.
Well, those property deeds across the world, all signed by the same hand, and over several centuries.
I am proud of you, Louis.
I found your notes, written in lemon juice.
Where all eyes size you up. At one stage, I was so afraid of losing my mind that I noted everything down. Congratulations, Louis. Wait, please tell me you didn't open Pandora's box.
The urn? No, I didn't. Why?
Good. We'll deal with it later.
El hecho de que nadie lo conoce.
I must admit, I found it difficult to understand how and why Mortimer didn't have a place in history.
On the continent, Mortimer and Holm are mere dandies who organize society balls. History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
La
You mean the
conferencia.
conference?
How can you explain that someone manages to bring together so many important figures without anyone knowing?
And without any security or personnel.
Vale, eso es
Louis,
todo.
I am proud of you. You came all this way. You found me. You have surpassed me.
You taught me everything I know. Right. How did it all begin?
I saw him.
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked. Composed of 7 parts, each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian, in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him. Or rather, he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
Bomborchet.
Wait a minute, who are you talking about? Von Borchard?
No, Mortimer, of course.
Ah.
He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages.
¿Qué edad
He was
tenía?
already old in those days, wasn't he? So you recognized him when you arrived on the island, right?
No, he wasn't in that body. But I know it was him. I swear it was him. The way he spoke, his posture, a few of his intonations, his mannerisms.
Wait a minute. You were talking about 60 years ago. I've lost the thread.
Yes, sorry. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
And you accepted?
Please don't be stupid. You don't make deals with the devil. After that, I spent my whole life looking for him. 3 years later, in Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis.
You agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
The child was his son.
We stole his son? Are you insane? I always thought we took him to save him.
That was the case. It was precisely to save him from his father.
Need I remind you the mother died during childbirth? What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once we found the Al-Azif in Paris, I followed von Borchart's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing.
¿Qué le pasó a Elizabeth? ¿Qué le pasó a Emma? ¿Qué hacías con el...? ¿Qué le pasó a Elizabeth?
I want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her. The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers and vice president of the United States, you know.
Mortimer possessed her?
No, I don't think it was Mortimer. Her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I never succeeded in getting it out of her. It's not something I'm proud of, Louis, but I had to try everything.
¿Quién la
Do you know who
mató?
killed her?
Absolutely not.
¿Qué le
I
pasó a
want to know
Emma?
what happened between you and Emily's sister.
Great responsibility often brings difficult choices, Louis. That's all you need to know.
Uf, cuéntamelo todo. Ay, de acuerdo, adiós. No, cuéntame,
Mother,
cuéntame.
I won't take a step further if you don't answer me.
You dare blackmail me?
I'm listening.
All right, I used her. So there you are. Happy now? We had the Al-Azif, and I didn't think we would be able to escape with it. In order to ensure that the book did not fall into their hands, or that one of them couldn't read in us where we had hidden it, I asked Emily to...
It's Emma.
Yes, or rather for me, it was Emily. So I asked Emma to hide it without anyone seeing. And then I disposed of her. I am sorry for her, but she was part of the Golden Order, Louis. She knew the rules when she joined.
What did you negotiate about the Al-Azif with Volner?
Absolutely nothing. I managed to pull the wool over his eyes until I found a way to flee.
¿Y los cañones?
What was going on with the cannons in Tuscany?
It was nothing.
Since when does the Order finance wars?
The cannons for that Bonaparte fellow? Listen, once in the lion's den, I did whatever I could to appear legitimate. So yes, I pretended to be interested in Mortimer's project about a young military man who was seeking funding for a foundry in Tuscany. Between you and me, if buying China would have enabled me to escape, I would have signed without hesitation.
Otros, hay otros. Encontré tu carta en el embarcadero.
Samuel Ritter du Choix. You wanted to send me a letter about Godoy.
I wanted you to run a check on Duke Manuel. But frankly, it doesn't really matter anymore now. Godoy is just a pawn like the others. He is not the one I was looking for.
Y la
On
carta
the
de
evening of my
Piaggi.
arrival, Cardinal Piaggi came looking for you. He was determined to give you a letter.
More of his lists. Louis, I think I know what's in that letter, and I beseech you to believe that it is the least of our worries. We can sort that out later.
¿Y tu
Are
mano?
you going to tell me what happened to your hand?
Better than that, I shall show you.
Aún mejor, pienso mostrártelo. Vale, volver. Adelante,
Good.
está bien.
I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop. By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He demands that the Spanish hand over Louisiana to France.
Oh, knowing him, it won't stop there. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
Are you going to tell me why we're here?
Bueno, amigos, lo vamos a ir dejando por aquí, ¿vale? El capítulo de hoy. Ya parece que la cosa se está poniendo un poquito más emocionante, con un poquito más de acción. Y nada, como siempre os digo, si os ha gustado, darle un buen like, que el videojuego se lo merece. Y nada, gente, nos vemos en el siguiente capítulo. Hasta luego.